kiss me sweet, and we'll go flying high in birdland, high in the sky up above. High in the sky up above. High in the sky up above.
Hello again, future engineers. I am Kathleen Joy Carpio, an industrial engineering student of Batangas State University. At our last video, I provided you a tutorial on how to make a figure with specific coordinates, length, and angle. But for today's video, I will be showing you how to make 6 figures that is somehow more complex than the figure we did on the previous tutorial. Once more, we will be using Autocad to create this project. For now, let's open the application. And let's click this to start drawing. This is our drawing area where we will be making the 6 figures. To start drawing the first figure, we will be clicking on the circle command and specify the center point. And I want the radius to be 10. Let's zoom in on that to have a better look at our work. The next step is to use the line command to make a line from the center of the circle. The line that we will be making should have a length of 30 and a degree of 90. Click enter to stop the command. Again, we will be using the line command and we will start from the midpoint of the previous line. Let's type in 20 for the length and 180 degrees. After that, let's just connect this to the center of the circle and click enter. Next, let's make another line starting from the endpoint of this line. Let's find the quadrant of the circle and type in 20. As we can see, there was an excess that resulted from the line that we created. Just use the trim command to eliminate this excess part. Presently, this is our figure. So let's continue making the output. Click on the line command again and starting from the endpoint of this line, let's create another line which has a length of 20 and a degree of 0. Find the quadrant of the circle once more and connect our line. The last step is to just use the line command and figure out the midpoint of this line. Then connect this to the quadrant of the circle. Alright. Now that we have completed the first figure, let's proceed in making the second figure. To do that, let's type polygon and enter. Insert the number of sides. For this figure, I want it to be 6. We need to specify the center point and click inscribed in circle. Let's type 20 for its radius. Before we proceed in making the figure, let's rotate this first using the rotate command. Type 90 degrees and that should do it. Use the line command to make a straight line in the center of the polygon. Another line should be inserted in this part as well. Now, let's use the circle command and start at the intersection of the 2 lines that we made. Type in 8.665 for the radius and enter. To adjust the circle better, let's remove these features first in the object snap. Just copy the previous circle and align this to this part of the polygon. Make sure to accurately place it in between. Repeat the steps, so Ctrl plus V again. I'm just making sure that the circle is fitted well here. After that, let's use the trim command to remove the parts which we don't need in the figure. Then, continue removing it by simply deleting the unwanted lines. Okay, we have finished making our second figure. Let's move it closer to the first figure by using the move command. To create the third figure, click the line command and make a line that has a length of 30 and a degree of 0. Let's bring back these features of the object snap to help us in identifying the points. Now, use the line command once more and start from the midpoint of the first line. Type in 15 for the length and 90 degrees. After that, just connect these 2 points and enter. Create another line right about here which we will have a degree of 22.5. Trim the unwanted parts of the figure using the trim command. Then let's delete. The next thing to do is to duplicate this figure by using the mirror command. Specify the first point here, then click No. Now that we've duplicated that, let's go to Array and click Polar Array and indicate the center point. As we can see, our figure looks like this, but that's not what we're going for. So type 8 for the number of items. So that's our figure for now. Continuing that, we're going to connect these points to finish the figure. Just continue adding the lines until we're done. As we can observe, the third figure is too big, so we're just going to resize it by using the scale command. Let's click the move command as well to place it closer to the previous figures. To make the fourth figure, we're going to use the circle command and type 20 for the radius. For this one, we need to choose the offset command and that should be 1.5. Create another circle again with a radius of 8. Another offset command will be used in this other circle. It should also be 1.5. Let's move it a bit closer to the larger circle using the move tool. Now let's duplicate this smaller circle and insert them here, here, and here. After that, we're going to make a cross here at the center of the first circle. And to do that, we will be using the line command. I also want to add more lines at the center of each part. So let's add those additional lines to the circle. The first line should have a length of 20 and a degree of 45. The second line should have the same measurements as the first. The third line will also have a length of 20 but a degree of 135. The fourth line should also have the same measurements as the third. The next thing to do is to focus on the 4 smaller circles and create straight lines at each of the centers. Just repeat the same steps for the second, third, and fourth small circles. Now let's add more lines to each of the circles. For the first circle, I will be inserting a line that has a degree of 135. Remove the excess line by using the trim command. For the second circle, I'm also going to add a 135 degree line and eliminate the unwanted part as well. The third circle now requires a line that has a degree of 45. Again, just trim the excess line. The fourth and last line will also have a 45 degree line and just remove the excess with the trim command. To finish the figure, let's connect these points to each other using the move command. Just repeat in connecting the points until we reach the required figure. The last thing to do is to remove the lines that are not needed for the final output. So just remove them and clean the figure. Delete these tiny lines like this. We have to copy the exact figure so we still have to remove the other lines here. After that, let's resize the figure once more and move it closer to the other figures. For the fifth figure, we will be choosing the rectangle command, and we will type in 20 and 20 for their lengths. Now, let's move it here. Zoom in on the figure and use the line command to make a slanted line in the middle of the square. We're also going to use the offset command here and type 2. Just repeat the command until we cover the square with the slanted lines. The trim command will also be clicked to remove the excess lines of the figure, just like this. Again, let's use the line command to make another slanted line in the middle of the square. Just repeat the same steps and use the offset command to duplicate the line. Just continue adding the lines like this. Remove the excess once more with the trim command. After that, we will be copying the required figure by eliminating these lines right here. We want to make a brick-like figure and that's what we are working on right now. Continue doing this until we come up with the fifth figure. If we zoom in on the figure, we will notice these small lines right here which we don't need. That is why we still have to remove them by either trimming or simply deleting them from the square. Remove them one by one until we are done. Like this, and this also. The last part to remove, okay. We can see that the figure is too small compared to the first 4 figures, so we still have to resize it with the scale command. Let's move this figure closer to the other figures just like this. Down to the last figure, we will be choosing the circle command and make it with a radius of 15. Use the offset command and type 3. Repeat the same process until we reach the final circle in the middle. Now, we're going to click on the line command and insert a line right in the middle. After that, we can proceed to remove the half of the circle and some of the lines here. We will not be removing the line at the center just yet. Next, use the line command again and create a line here with a length of 15. To speed up the process, let's use the offset command once again and type 3. Just repeat the steps until we reach the center. Let's use the trim command to remove this line or delete it. Select the present figure and go to the array panel and click the polar array. Let's specify this point. It became like this, but that's not the output that we're going for. So let's modify the number of items and insert only 4 and click enter. The created figure is once again a bit bigger than the other figures, so let's just resize and move it closer to the 5 figures that we made earlier. Alright, at this point, we have successfully accomplished the task that we are assigned to do. We have created the 6 figures using numerous commands in Autocad. So that is it for this tutorial. Thank you and have a productive day, future engineers.